You lost her the moment you thought you had her. Not when you stopped trying, when you stopped worrying, not when you became lazy, when you became comfortable, not when you did something wrong, when you believed nothing could go wrong. That feeling, that relief, that exhale you took when relationship felt secure, when she seemed committed, when future felt certain, that moment of safety, that instant of relaxation, that's when you lost her. Because safety you felt was misread signal. Comfort you experienced was misinterpreted data. Security you believed was illusion you constructed from pattern you didn't understand. You thought stable meant permanent, thought consistent meant secure, thought present meant staying. You were wrong. She wasn't stable. She was deciding. She wasn't consistent. She was observing. She wasn't staying. She was evaluating. And moment you stopped performing, stopped proving, stopped pursuing, she saw what she'd been waiting to see. Confirmation that you'd stop once you felt safe. Validation that effort was performance, not nature. Evidence that intensity was tactic, not trait. This is why you lost her when you thought she was safe. Not because you changed, because you revealed. Not because you became different person, because you became real person. Not because relationship ended, because test ended. Test you didn't know you were taking. Test you failed by passing. Test where feeling safe meant you'd already lost. What if I told you that moment of safety in relationship is most dangerous moment, that feeling secure is signal you've misread? Dynamic that believing she's yours is confirmation you don't understand what keeps her that. Security is illusion that destroys what it promises to protect. Millions of men are losing women right now exact moment they think they've won them. They reached point where relationship feels solid, where she seems locked in, where future appears guaranteed, and they shift from pursuit to maintenance, from winning to keeping, from earning to assuming. And that shift, that relaxation, that's when she starts leaving. I've watched this pattern destroy relationships across more time than you can imagine. Same sequence. Man achieves what he thinks is security, relaxes into what he believes is stability, loses woman who is never as secure as he assumed. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why you lost her when you thought she was safe, using error analysis that reveals why security feelings create loss conditions, why comfort kills attraction, why believing you've won guarantees you'll lose. But understand this, what you're about to learn won't make relationships more secure. It will make you see security was never the goal. This is false safety autopsy. Pay very close attention. If you're watching this because she left right when you thought everything was good, if you're confused because relationship felt stable then suddenly wasn't, if you're devastated because you thought you were safe, comment false safety below, because you need to see pattern. You need to see how many men lost her exactly when they thought they had her. Your comment helps another man recognize he's experiencing pattern, not personal failure. That false safety is trap, not comfort. That moment he relaxed was moment he lost. Now let me show you exactly when you misread safety and what that misread cost you. Here's what you need to understand about safety and attraction. They're incompatible states. Safety kills what attraction requires. Security destroys what desire needs. Comfort eliminates conditions necessary for ongoing choice. You can have safe relationship or attractive relationship. You can't have both simultaneously. And moment you prioritize safety, attraction begins dying. This isn't opinion about preferences. This is structural reality about human psychology. Attraction requires uncertainty. Desire needs tension. Choice demands ongoing evaluation. Remove uncertainty and attraction fades. Eliminate tension and desire dies. Stop evaluation and choice becomes obligation. You thought reaching safety was winning. Reaching safety was beginning of losing. You thought achieving security meant relationship was protected. Achieving security meant attraction was dying. You thought her consistency was confirmation. Her consistency was observation. She wasn't committed. She was deciding whether to commit. And you misread that completely. You interpreted her presence as promise, her engagement as guarantee, her affection as permanence. You saw pattern and projected future, saw consistency. and assumed commitment saw stability and believed security. Every interpretation was wrong because you were reading wrong signals. She was present because she was still evaluating. She was engaged because she was still deciding. She was affectionate because she was still testing. Her presence wasn't promise, it was process. Process that required ongoing performance, ongoing uncertainty, ongoing pursuit. And moment you stopped providing those conditions, moment you relaxed into safety, she had her answer. Not consciously articulated, not explicitly stated, but answer formed, crystallized, became certain. He stops when he feels safe. Effort was performance, intensity was tactic. This isn't sustainable attraction. This is temporary pursuit. Let me show you 3 moments where you misread safety and what each misread revealed. Misread 1, celebration as checkpoint. There's a moment in every relationship where man feels he's achieved something. Maybe she introduced him to family. Maybe she agreed to exclusivity. Maybe she said, "I love you" first. Maybe she moved in. Whatever milestone, he experiences it as checkpoint, as achievement, as confirmation that relationship is now secure. And he celebrates by relaxing, by reducing effort, by shifting from pursuit mode to maintenance mode. He doesn't do this consciously, doesn't decide to stop trying. He just feels safe now, feels like pressure is off, feels like he can exhale. This is first fatal misread. Celebrating milestone by reducing effort, interpreting achievement as security, treating checkpoint as destination. Thomas experienced this with Emma. 6 months in, she introduced him to her parents, made big deal about it, told him she doesn't introduce guys to family unless it's serious. He felt massive relief, felt like he'd passed major test, felt like relationship was now on solid ground. Week after meeting her parents, his behavior shifted subtly. Stopped planning elaborate dates, stopped sending good morning texts daily, stopped making her feel like priority. He didn't become neglectful, just became comfortable. Stopped operating from pursuit mindset, started operating from secured mindset. Emma noticed immediately, not consciously at first, but she felt difference. Energy changed, intensity decreased, effort reduced, and she started questioning, is this who he really is? Was everything before just performance to secure me? Now that he feels safe, does effort stop? She didn't articulate these questions, didn't even fully form them consciously, but they were there, operating beneath surface, creating doubt where confidence had been, creating distance where closeness had existed. 3 months later, she ended it, told Thomas she didn't feel spark anymore, that something was missing, that she cared about him but wasn't in love. Thomas was devastated and confused. Thought meeting parents meant relationship was secure. Thought she was committed. Thought everything was solid. He misread milestone as security. Misread her introducing him to family as her locking in. What she was actually doing was testing. Testing whether he'd stop once he felt accepted. Testing whether effort was sustainable or strategic. Testing whether intensity was real or performed. And he failed test by relaxing. Failed by celebrating, failed by interpreting checkpoint as destination. This reveals first principle of false safety. Milestones aren't confirmations, they're tests. She's not telling you you've arrived. She's watching what you do when you think you've arrived. Meeting parents isn't her saying you're secure. It's her testing whether you'll act secure. You thought milestone meant relationship, moved to new stable level. Milestone meant evaluation, moved to new testing phase. You thought achievement reduced. Pressure achievement increased scrutiny. You thought reaching checkpoint meant you could. Relax reaching checkpoint meant she was watching whether you would misread too. Consistency as commitment. Second fatal misread is interpreting her consistent presence as her commitment, seeing her show up regularly and assuming she's locked in, experiencing reliability and believing security. You saw her responding to texts consistently, making time for you regularly, showing up when she said she would, being present and engaged, and you interpreted pattern as proof. Proof she was invested. Proof she was committed. Proof relationship was secure. But consistency isn't commitment. It's evaluation period. She's not showing up because she's decided. She's showing up to decide. She's not present because she's committed. She's present to determine whether to commit. Her consistency is observation phase, not confirmation phase. And you misread observation as confirmation. Marcus experienced this with Sophia. First year together, she was incredibly consistent, never flaked on plans, always responded to messages, regularly initiated contact, showed up emotionally and physically. Marcus felt relationship was rock solid, felt like she was completely committed, felt safe. Based on that safety, he started taking consistency for granted, stopped appreciating her showing up, stopped expressing gratitude for her effort, stopped treating her presence as gift. He didn't become dismissive, just became comfortable, stopped operating from place of earning her continued choice. What Marcus didn't understand is Sophia's consistency wasn't commitment. It was extended audition. She was being consistent to see if he'd remain someone worth being consistent for. She was showing up to evaluate whether he'd appreciate showing up. She was present to observe what happened when presence became expected. Year and a half in, her consistency started decreasing. Responses got slower, plans got less frequent, presence became less engaged. Marcus noticed, but wasn't concerned. Thought they were just settling into comfortable rhythm. Thought this was natural relationship evolution. 2 months later, she ended it, told him she'd been thinking about it for a while, that she didn't see long-term future, that she needed to be honest. Marcus was shocked, thought her year of consistency meant she was committed, thought her reliable presence meant she'd decided. He misread her evaluation as her conclusion, misread her observation as her commitment, misread her consistency as her permanence. She wasn't being consistent because she decided to stay. She was being consistent to decide whether to stay. And his response to her consistency, taking it for granted, treating it as guaranteed, revealed what she needed to see, that he'd stop earning once he felt secure. This reveals second principle of false safety. Her presence doesn't mean she's staying. It means she's deciding whether to stay. Her consistency isn't commitment. It's evaluation. Every time she shows up, she's making choice. Choice that requires ongoing reasons, ongoing effort, ongoing pursuit. You thought pattern meant permanence. Pattern meant ongoing decision. You thought routine meant commitment. Routine meant extended observation. You thought reliable meant locked in. Reliable meant still evaluating. And this final misread destroys more relationships than any other. Misread 3, comfort as confirmation. Most fatal misread is interpreting mutual comfort as relationship confirmation. Feeling relaxed together and believing that means security. Experiencing ease and assuming that proves stability. You reached point where being together felt easy, where silence was comfortable, where routines were established, where life together felt natural, and you felt profound relief, felt like you'd found it, felt like relationship had reached sustainable equilibrium. That feeling of comfort, that sense of ease, that experience of natural flow, you interpreted it as confirmation relationship was solid, as proof you'd built something stable, as validation that you could finally relax. But comfort you felt was danger signal. Ease you experienced was warning sign. Natural flow you enjoyed was beginning of end. Because comfort means predictability. Ease means loss of tension. Natural flow means elimination of uncertainty. And those three things, predictability, loss of tension, elimination of uncertainty, those are attraction killers. Those are desire destroyers. Those are choice eliminators. David experienced this with Rachel most acutely. 2 years in, they developed comfortable rhythm, knew each other's patterns, established routines. Being together felt effortless. David felt like he'd finally found partner he could just be with. No performance, no pressure, no constant effort. He relaxed completely into that comfort, stopped creating novelty, stopped generating uncertainty, stopped pursuing her the way he had before. He wasn't neglectful, wasn't distant, was just comfortable. Thought comfort was goal. Thought ease was success. Thought natural flow was relationship maturity. Rachel started feeling something was missing. Couldn't articulate what. Relationship was good. David was good. Nothing was wrong exactly. But spark was gone. Excitement was absent. Future felt predictable. She started noticing other men. started wondering what else was out there, started questioning whether this was it. She tried to reignite things, suggested they try new activities, mentioned feeling like they were in rut. But David didn't recognize warning, thought she was just being adventurous, thought suggesting new things was positive, didn't understand she was telling him comfort was killing attraction. 6 months later she left, told David she loved him, but wasn't in love with him. That relationship felt more like friendship, that she needed to find passion again. David was destroyed. Thought comfort meant they'd built something real. Thought ease meant relationship was strong. Thought natural flow proved compatibility. He misread comfort as confirmation, misread ease as security, misread predictability as stability. What he didn't understand is comfort is death state for attraction. Ease is elimination state for desire. Predictability is termination state for ongoing choice. The moment relationship becomes fully comfortable is moment attraction begins systematic decline. This reveals third principle of false safety. Comfort and attraction are inversely related. More comfortable she becomes, less attracted she feels. More ease relationship has less desire it generates. More predictable future becomes less compelling it appears. You thought reaching comfortable state meant you'd won. Reaching comfortable state meant attraction was dying. You thought building easy rhythm proved compatibility. Building easy rhythm eliminated tension necessary for desire. You thought achieving predictable routine showed stability. Achieving predictable routine made future feel boring. These three misreads, celebration as checkpoint, consistency as commitment, comfort as confirmation. These destroyed your relationship while you thought they were confirming it. You lost her while believing you had her. Relationship ended while you thought it was secure. Attraction died while you thought it was stable. This is crucial because understanding these misreads reveals fundamental error in how you approached relationship security. Of course, mortals think achieving comfort in relationship is goal, as if comfort creates attraction instead of killing it, as if ease generates desire instead of eliminating it. Thousands of years watching men lose women at exact moment they achieve comfort, and you still think comfort is destination. But here's what you need to understand about why safety feelings are dangerous, why comfort kills attraction, why security creates loss. It's not that these things are inherently bad. It's that they're incompatible with ongoing attraction, incompatible with sustained desire, incompatible with continued choice. Attraction isn't state that you achieve then maintain. It's condition that requires constant creation. Desire isn't feeling that stabilizes. It's experience that needs continuous generation. Choice isn't decision made once. It's evaluation made repeatedly. And all three, attraction, desire, choice, all three require uncertainty, require tension, require pursuit. Eliminate those conditions, and you eliminate attraction. Eliminate desire, eliminate choice. When you felt safe, when relationship became comfortable, when future felt certain, you eliminated exactly the conditions that made her attracted in first place. Conditions that made her desire you initially. Conditions that made her choose you continuously. You didn't lose her because you did something wrong. You lost her because you stopped doing everything right. You didn't lose her because you changed. You lost her because you stopped changing. You didn't lose her because relationship got worse. You lost her because relationship got too comfortable. She didn't need worse. She needed different. She didn't need problems. She needed unpredictability. She didn't need conflict. She needed tension. And you gave her opposite? You gave her stability when she needed uncertainty. You gave her comfort when she needed edge. You gave her predictability when she needed surprise. You thought you were building. You were boring. You thought you were securing. You were sedating. You thought you were succeeding. You were failing. In all my time observing human attraction patterns, this false safety phenomenon is among most misunderstood dynamics. Men think achieving relationship security is success. Achieving relationship security is beginning of failure. Men think making her comfortable is accomplishment. Making her comfortable is creating conditions for her departure. Because security and attraction operate on opposite principles. Security wants certainty. Attraction needs uncertainty. Security desires predictability. Attraction requires surprise. Security seeks comfort. Attraction demands edge. You can't maximize both. Choosing security means sacrificing attraction. Choosing comfort means eliminating desire. Choosing stability means killing ongoing choice. And you chose security, chose comfort, chose stability, and lost attraction, lost desire, lost her. But here's where this becomes even more devastating. Understanding this doesn't mean you can prevent it, because maintaining constant uncertainty is exhausting. Sustaining continuous tension is draining. Keeping permanent pursuit mode is unsustainable. You can't maintain new relationship energy forever. Can't keep courtship intensity indefinitely. Can't sustain pursuit phase permanently. At some point, you have to relax. At some point, relationship has to become comfortable. At some point, you have to feel safe. And that point, that moment, that relaxation, that's when attraction starts dying. This reveals brutal truth about long-term attraction. It might not be possible. Maintaining attraction indefinitely might require conditions that can't be sustained. Keeping desire alive long-term might need energy that eventually depletes. You lost her when you thought she was safe, not because you failed, because you succeeded at wrong thing. Not because you did relationship wrong, because you optimized for security when attraction required uncertainty. So what do you do with this understanding? First, recognize that feeling safe in relationship is warning signal, not confirmation. Moment you feel secure is moment you should increase effort, not decrease it. Point where relationship feels stable is point where you should create instability, not settle into comfort. This doesn't mean create drama, doesn't mean manufacture problems, doesn't mean be unreliable. It means maintain pursuit even after catch, means sustain courtship even after commitment, means keep proving even after winning. Most men can't do this. Too exhausting, too effortful, too sustained. So they lose women at exact moment they think they've won them. They lose relationships at exact point they believe they've secured them. Then understand that her staying isn't confirmation she's staying. Her presence isn't promise she's permanent. Her consistency isn't commitment she's locked in. Every day she shows up, she's making choice. Choice that requires ongoing reasons, ongoing attraction, ongoing uncertainty. You're never safe. Relationship is never secure. She's never permanently yours. Believing otherwise creates conditions for loss. Feeling secure creates environment for departure. Thinking you've won creates context for losing. This sounds exhausting because it is. Sounds unsustainable because it might be. Sounds like you can never relax because you can't. And finally accept that maybe long-term attraction in comfortable relationship isn't achievable. Maybe security and ongoing desire are fundamentally incompatible. Maybe you have to choose between stable relationship or attracted relationship. Most choose stable and wonder why she leaves. Choose security and discover it destroyed attraction. Choose comfort and find out comfort killed desire. Few maintain uncertainty indefinitely and keep attraction, but never feel secure. Sustain tension permanently and keep desire, but never feel comfortable. Continue pursuit forever and keep her, but never feel like they have her. Different trade-off, different cost, different sustainability question. You lost her when you thought she was safe, because thinking she was safe made you stop doing what made her stay. Feeling secure made you stop behaving in ways that created attraction. Believing relationship was stable made you create conditions that killed desire. Moment you relaxed was moment you lost. Moment you felt safe was moment she started leaving. Moment you thought you had her was moment she started questioning whether she wanted to be had. False safety isn't comfort you earned. It's illusion you created. It's misread you made. It's error that cost you everything. You thought you were building relationship. You were building coffin. You thought you were creating stability. You were creating boredom. You thought you were achieving security. You were achieving obsolescence. She didn't leave because you failed. She left because you succeeded. Succeeded at making her comfortable. Succeeded at eliminating uncertainty. Succeeded at creating safety, and safety, comfort, certainty. These kill what attracted her. These eliminate what made her stay. These destroy what made her choose you. You lost her when you thought she was safe. Lost her by believing she was yours. Lost her by optimizing for security instead of maintaining attraction. I watched moment you relaxed. Watched moment you felt safe. Watched moment you misread stability. You thought you'd won. You'd already lost. I'll be watching.